Let's say we have some neuron, and that neuron got a bunch of inputs and calculated some value with some weights and whatever. So this neuron has some number, some value, it's a scalar number. What activation function does is it says either should I pass this number, this information further or not? Those are certain types of activation functions. And another type says how much of this information or this number should I pass further. Let's take a look at this activation function, relu. If the number that neuron has is negative, which means we are looking at the negative numbers on x-axis. If x-axis is negative, then y-axis is 0. So it means relu will pass 0, which means it will not pass any information further. So it will prevent all negative numbers from passing further. And if the number is positive, it will just pass whichever number it is. So if it's 1 on x-axis, it will pass 1. So 1 is y-axis, means in y-axis means it will pass 1. So let's say we have some data points like this, and we are training neural network to classify them. So the neural network is, as you know, like a function. And if we only have weights and biases, just multiply and plus without any activation functions, the neural network will only be able to be a function of a straight line. Like this, it's a straight line. So here, we fit the neural network to data. But because it's a straight line, we're not able to do it like this to separate them. We need to, so now this is misclassified and this is misclassified. But activation functions let us do this. So now we classify them properly. Let's take a look at a single neuron. We have x, and y is a linear transformation of this x. So it's going to be like this straight line. But if we encapsulate this, enclose this with tan h, so let's just say tan h, whatever the activation function, then it's not going to be a straight line anymore. So now, depending on the w and b, we're going to be at some point on this curvy line, not a straight line anymore. We can then introduce a different neuron, let it have same activation function, and now you can look at this as a 2D space. Now you can be here, you can be here, you can be here. So you can be in one of these 4 points, and you can use this to, for example, classify. If something is here, it gets one class, something is here, it gets another class, etc. But this is what happens. In these two neurons will be combined into the next neuron. And that next neuron will have some weights. So let's say this is 0.1 and this is 0.9. Or those could be different, but so what we will do is we will sum up these two lines with these weighted by these weights. So let's say both weights into the next neuron are 1. Then we would just sum up these two lines. So here this, let's say this is x-axis. So like this is a little bit here and this is a lot. So we will get something like higher here, maybe a bit lower here. But we just sum each of the values, this value and this value. Sum will get this value. So it should be, I guess, a bit up. Also, if we have different weights, so for example 0.1 for the blue neuron, then we would take this value on this curve and multiply by 0.1, so get something like this, and then multiply this value with 0.9, and we would get maybe some, if we sub them, like some curve here, some value here. So now this new neuron, it has, let's say, so I drew this to be its function. So then we will just keep adding and summing all the other neurons, and in the end we will have all of the, like when everything is done, we have some kind of function. So neural network. Now this here, this is on a 2D plane. It's probably gonna have like 100 million dimensions because there are like 100 million different weights and biases and stuff. So, but let's say we just have this 2D function here. So finally, to recap activation functions. So if you don't have activation function, you just have weight and bias, then the output of the neuron will always be like a function. So whatever the x is, it can be here, it can be here, but it will be a linear function always. So if we pass this through activation function, for example, sigmoid or tanh, then the output will have this shape. And maybe we have another, or a neuron that's next to this in the same layer, and here output might have same shape, but it's gonna have different scale or shift. So maybe it's gonna be like this, or depending on different functions, it can be whatever. So in the next neuron, these two or these three previous neuron outputs will get added into the next neuron. So if we sum these values, we will get maybe this curve here, yeah. So this is the output of the next neuron when we sum these. And what's interesting, this is also passed. Now this can be multiplied by a weight and added bias on top of it, and then this whole thing can be passed through activation function again, and then the shape will get distorted even further or changed. And this is how it works. Keep in mind though, I'm drawing entire function and I'm saying this is the output of the neuron, but output is just one number on this line. So, and it corresponds to the y axis. So this number on the y-axis here. So when I say we pass this entire function through activation, what I mean is we pass whichever current value, y value of the function happens to be in this as the output. Because output is not the entire function, it's just one number on that function. But all of the possible outputs of this neuron would draw this function. Check out my channel for more and support me on Patreon.